funds sa basic services, sa infrastructure. So hindi ba parang natural lang na liliit
and Intel mo bumababa. When you look at the budget, you look at the share of the different sectors dun sa total budget mo. So pag nakikita mo lumalaki yung social services, economic sector, and maybe general and yung defense, okay siya, di ba, compared to your CIF. So if you look at it, it's sa math po, and, di ba, it's okay that it's decreasing.
But can the administration confidently say that well justified yung allocations, yung proposed allocations ito for Intel funds? Kasi as early as now, may mga nagtatanong na bakit daw tumaas or something like that.
Meron, kasi nga po may mga nadagdag na, like DICT po, meron po siyang additional na confidential funds for cybersecurity. Because we all know that we're as and programs ang pwedeng i-fund ng confidential and Intel fund. And at the same time, meron din po ditong sa section 4 of the joint circular, may detalye din po on how to disburse the funds. So, if you look at it, may accountability din po yung mga finance admin officers natin and disbursing officers natin. I can share po the guidelines. Disbursing officers natin. I can share po the guidelines and the circular to everyone.
Salamat, Sec.
Thank you po.
Okay. Ivan Mayrina, GMA7.
Secretary, nagkaroon po ng kabawasan na 2.93 billion ang budget ng University of the Philippines. May I ask why?
Alam niyo po, pag if you will compare the NEP ng 2023 and 2024, nagkaroon po ng increase yung budget. Pero kung i-compare mo po siya sa GAA, because it went already through the Congress, marami pong taga-UP sa House at saka Senate. So, meron po silang mga amendments. I was able to get the projects po, yung mga amendments nila, and most of it po are completion of existing infrastructure projects. So, pag completion na po siya sa 2023, we don't need the funding for 2024 po.
Wala po epekto ito sa bilang ng mga estudyanteng tatanggapin? And,
Wala po.
Okay.
Wala po.
Sa infrastructure lang.
Nestor Corrales, Philippine Daily Inquirer.
Good morning, Secretary. President Marcos is asking Congress to allocate 1.408 billion for local, foreign missions and state visits for 2024. This is 58% higher than the 893.87 million that was asked by OP in 2023 or this year. May we know what was the reason given why there was a 58% increase?
Yung travel po ng presidente, dalawa pong klase yan. Meron pong state visit that they invite you. And then meron din po yung mga investment roadshow. When I was asked previously po dun sa SONA kung ano po sa tingin ko ang nagawa ng this administration in such a short time, I think to bring us back to the map of an investment hub and opportunity po for other countries. Kami po, hindi lang po ang presidente, even the economic managers, if you will notice po, we have been going out of the country to present po the Philippines as an investment hub po. So, I think yung expenses po ng travel, as long as it will be beneficial and mas may advantage po para sa bansa natin, I think okay lang po yun. It's justified.
Madeline Moratillo, Net25.
Hi, good morning, Secretary. Bakit po mas malaki yung budget ng DPWH kesa sa DA and DOH given na marami po tayong problema ngayon sa agri sector and kasama siya dun sa priority ng Pangulo? Thank you po.
If you will look at our medium-term fiscal framework when we started the administration, meron po tayo dong goal to really increase or a standard of 5 to 6% of GDP yung infrastructure budget po natin. So we're being consistent with that. Yung sa DA po, if you will remember po, DA and DAR, we increased already the budget of DA and DAR this year by 30%. So, ang ibig sabihin po nun, nagsimula na po tayo ng mataas yung base natin for 2023. And then 2024, dinagdagan pa natin ng additional 6%. So, mataas na po. For the past, how many? Siguro 2 decades, yung agriculture sector po natin, napakababa po ng funding and investment natin po dyan. So I think this administration, tumataas po ang budget natin for the agriculture sector.
Okay. Kenneth Pasyente, PTV4.
Good morning po, ma'am. Ma'am, kasunod po ng pagtaas po ng presyo ng produktong petrolyo and of course itong mga recent calamities, how exactly can the government achieve its goal po of strengthening the public's purchasing power under the proposed 2024 budget? Thank you po.
Gusto niya sagutin? Pwede ko rin naman sagutin. Okay, nasaan nga ba yun? Wait lang ha. Georgie, do you want to start? Hanapin ko lang data ko.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you. So, as you may see, yung format ng President's message on the budget and the way the budget is presented, there are two main important socio-economic agenda in the near term that are being addressed. So, first, food sufficiency, and then next is yung reduced logistics and transport costs. Of course, there are others like yung energy costs and the social protection program. So yung first three on food security, of agricultural programs which have increased, of course, as is the trend in 2023. For 2024, it will also increase, not only for agriculture but agrarian reform and then the attached agencies of the DA. And then on transport and logistic cost, you will see that yung railway projects and other transport system projects of the DOTR as well as DPWH are meant to increase and make smoother yung flow ng goods and services and even of people who market their products abroad and then within the country and abroad. And then, of course, yung reduced energy cost, there's also an attached increase in programs that encourage private sector participation in renewable energy. And then, of course, if inflation impacts the vulnerable sectors, we still have social protection programs, although nag-decrease siya. But the point now is, after the pandemic and after, for example, the fisher folks and farmers experience the negative effects of higher inflation, there are livelihood programs that are meant to make them recover faster.
Okay. Heidi Sampang.
Good morning, Secretary. Tama rin po ba na nabawasan po yung fuel subsidy compared po sa 4 billion last year, given po the fact na patuloy pong tumataas yung presyo po ng mga produktong
Similar
petrolyo?
It's the same level. Same level. Ha?
Same level as net ng 2023.
Same level. Lower a bit. Yung fuel subsidy program under the DOTR, it's the same level po that we proposed in 2023. It's still 2.5 billion. For the proposed 2024 budget, it's also 2.5 billion. Similar to our fuel assistance program under the Department of Agriculture, these are for farmers and fisher folks. It's the same po. 1 billion po sa NEP 1 billion po sa GAA, and also 1 billion po sa 2024 NEP.
Pia Gutierrez, ABS-CBN.
Hi, Secretary. For 2024, how much po yung budget natin for the pension of the military and uniform personnel? And naka-apekto po ba dun sa budgeting natin yung proposed MUP reforms that is expected to be passed by the end of the year or early next year?
Because we don't have the legislation yet, and in fact, we don't have the admin version yet, kasi kakatapos lang po yung consultation ng economic team around the country, and I know that GSIS is working on a actuarial po. Matatapos din po nila yung study within the month or the next 2 weeks. By then po, we will have the admin version of the MUP. So, since wala pa po, same pa rin po yung budget natin. We still provided the fund for the MUP, which is almost 150 billion pesos.
Once na mapass na po yung legislation, will we expect changes din po doon sa budget?
Yes po, because yung consultation po natin, I think they agreed naman po to contribute dun sa pension system. So mababawasan po yung pressure from our national budget.
By how much po?
Wala pa po, ma'am. Maybe soon they will have the figures na.
Maricel Halili again, TV5.
Secretary, just to follow up on
Yes, ma'am.
Nestor's question earlier, do we have data or rough estimate as to how much did the government spend for the foreign travel of the president, and how much do we earn? Do we have data for that?
Ay, naku, may final data na ba tayo for to date? For this year, wala pa po. Maybe we can provide second quarter, no? We can provide second quarter once submitted na po yung budget ng agencies. Doon sa kung gaano po kalaki yung nakukuha nating investment, I think DTI already released the figures. Every time dumadating po si Presidente sa mga state visits niya, meron po silang data na nilalabas on the total commitment po from other countries.
Maybe I can add also, recently the visit of the President of the European Commission, in her speech, she said that the reason that she was here was also because she met the President in Brussels earlier this year. So these trips that the President and the teams have been making, we are seeing the effects of them now. Evelyn Quiroz, Filipino Mirror.
Secretary, kung meron pong budget na puro palabas, meron po ba tayong data na yun naman pong savings nyo for the first and second quarter of 2022?
May savings ka na ba? 2022.
At ano po yung ginagawa kung may savings po yung mga departments?
Hindi pa natin makikita. Ikaw na. Ikaw na.
Yeah. As far as 2022 is concerned, we cannot still say that it's savings because the 2022 funds are still available for 2023 for implementation. So we can't give yet any amount as far as that savings is concerned.
Thank you.
Any more? Alexis, did you have a question? Philippine Star.
Secretary, yung mga SONA fiscal wish list ni President Marcos, naka-incorporate na ba yun sa revenue assumptions?
The revenue measures
tax
po.
measures na pinupusha sa SONA.
Yes po. Oo, no. Yes, it's already incorporated. Yung mga tax measures ng administration, the package 4 of Passive Income and Financial Intermediary Taxation Act, VAT on digital service providers, excise tax on single-use plastics, excise tax on pre-mixed alcohol, and the sugar and salt tax. Yes po.
So the combined revenues...
Motor vehicles, road users tax, mining fiscal regime, and excise tax on sweetened and salt food, beverages and food. Yes po.
So the revenues are... We
Yes po.
assume we will get them. What if Congress does not pass those measures?
Most of the measures po are already in the advanced stage. In fact, yung sa House, most of it are already napasa na po ni Kong Joey. Nasa Senate po, we need Senate to concur kung ano po yung mga napas na budget. Legislations. During the LEDAC po, last month, it was also discussed, and the Senate and the House po both committed to pass the legislations po.
Pero kung sakaling hindi po, we will borrow.
Yes. Or maybe, papalakasin ang ekonomiya para mataas po yung revenue natin.
Okay, thank you, Sec.
Okay. Pia Gutierrez, ABS-CBN.
Habol lang po dun sa question dun sa flooding. Yun dun sa climate change mitigation, how much are we allocating for 2024?
In our budget po, we have a program called Climate Change Expenditures Tagging, CSET po. So for 2024, there's a total of 543.45 billion earmarked for climate change mitigation and adaptation projects and programs of the national government. This is equivalent to 9.4% of the total proposed budget, exceeding our commitment of only 8% share under the Philippine Development Plan. Much of the projects po is for water. If I can just identify, enumerate the projects. For water sufficiency po, 294.46 billion. For sustainable energy, 180.72 billion. For climate smart industries and services, 6.02 billion. For ecosystem and environmental sustainability, 5.95 billion. Another 12.97 billion for knowledge and capacity development. Food security, 40.18 billion. Human security, 2.58 billion, and cross-cutting actions, 550 million pesos. And related to that po is another 1.7 billion under the Philippine Space Agency to better monitor our land and marine resources as well as terrestrial ecosystems. I think this will be used for a satellite. 1.2 billion will be used for multi-sectoral unit land assessment satellite development. Yan po.
Ivan Mayrina, GMA7.
Question lang po. How much of the 5.7 trillion budget is going to be funded by revenue and how much through borrowings?
Borrowing. So borrowing from the total 5.768 trillion budget will be 11% of the pie. So this is consistent with the medium-term fiscal framework. So the rest, as the President said in Misona for 2023, the same with 2024, socio-economic services will be around still close to 70%. And the rest would be general administration and defense expenses.
Okay. I think we're okay, everybody? That's a lot of information, and you have your documents with you. Thank you so much to Secretary Amena. Would you like to close with something?
Dun sa question po ni Sir Ivan, we have during DBCC po, the last DBCC po, we released the figures po of revenues, disbursement, and surplus deficit. Of course, pag may deficit ka, mostly yun yung sa loan natin. We can also share you the figures po.
Okay. You want to say something to close, or you're okay?
Yeah, for more details of the budget, it's online. It's already online, the NEP and all the budget documents. And of course, we want our budget to be transparent, and we want people to participate in the process. So on August 10, we will have our DBCC, and August 22 and 23, August 10 DBCC and HOR, and on August 22 and 23, it will be in Senate of the Philippines. So hopefully you'll also join us there. Para if you need more details of the budget, we'll be there. Similar to our other cabinet secretaries when they go to Congress to defend their budget. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you so much to our very hardworking Department of Budget and Management, of course, led by Budget Secretary Amena Pangandaman. And thank you, Chief Economist Dr. Joselito Basilio, Undersecretary Janet Abuel, and Assistant Secretary Mary Ann De La Vega. Thank you, Malacanang Press Corps. Good afternoon.
Thank you po.
Morning pala. Morning pa ba?
For strategic financing, some of the nation's high-priority projects can now look to the newly established Maharlika Investment Fund without the added debt burden. In pooling a small fraction of the considerable but underutilized government funds, the funds shall be used to make high-impact and profitable investments, such as the Build Better More program. The gains from the fund shall be reinvested into the country's economic well-being. To ensure sound financial management, a group of internationally recognized economic managers shall oversee the operations of the fund, guided by the principles of transparency and accountability. This guarantees that investment decisions will be based on financial considerations alone, absent any political influence.
Sa paglipanan ng maling balita, dito ka na sa Subok at Totoo. Kumpletong pagtatalakay sa mga usaping pambayan at mga programa ng pamahalaan. Dito nyo malalaman. Samahan ang veteranong mamamahayag na si Aljo Bendijo sa Public Briefing. #Laging Handa PH. Lunes hanggang Biyernes sa PTV. Disaster Watch. Alamin ang heavy rainfall warning system ng Pag-asa. Yellow rainfall warning. Maghanda sa posibleng pagbaha sa mga mabababang lugar at tabing baybayin. Pinapayuhan ang lahat na mag-monitor ng mga weather update sa inyong lugar. Orange rainfall warning. Mas malawak na pagbaha ang inaasahan at posibleng magka-landslide sa mga tabing bundok. Bumuo ng isang emergency kit at maghandang lumikas sa anumang sandali. Red rainfall warning. Inaasahan ang matinding buhos ng ulan sa loob ng 2 oras na magdudulot ng malawakang pagbaha at landslide. Para sa inyong kaligtasan, lumikas agad ang mga nasa mabababang lugar, baybayin at tabing bundok. Sa panahon ng kalamidad, dapat laging listo.
Our fisheries codes must be revised to incorporate and strengthen science-based analysis and determination of fishing areas. This approach will protect both the interests of our fisherfolk and our fisheries and aquatic resources. To this end, we will seek the support of Congress to amend the code to guarantee sustainable development of our fisheries sector in harmony with environmental balance.
Limampung taon ng tapat na pagseserbisyo, kailanman, kahit saan, para sa bayan. Reaching the Filipino from every corner of the country via terrestrial TV. In Luzon, PTV 8 Cordillera, PTV 4 Manila, PTV 4 Palawan, and PTV 4 Naga. In Visayas, PTV 11 Cebu, PTV 2 Guimaras, PTV 10 Dumaguete, PTV 10 Calbayog, and PTV 8 Tacloban. And in Mindanao, PTV 11 Pagadian, PTV 11 Sibugay, PTV 11 Davao, PTV 8 Agusan del Sur, PTV 8 Cotabato, PTV 7 Zamboanga, and PTV 48 Davao del Norte. And through the power of 6 digital transmitting stations, PTV 14 Manila, PTV 42 Cordillera, PTV 46 Naga, PTV 42 Cebu, PTV 23 Guimaras, and PTV 45 Davao. Connecting with the rest of the world in the era of digital technology. Through the power of television and our extensive online network, we continue crossing borders to serve the timeless news and information, bridging public service through innovative programs, fostering pride in the Filipino, and inspiring the people to be active partners in nation building. Noon hanggang ngayon, kasama mong naglilingkod. PTV, ang pambansang TV.
Our road network plans must link not only our 3 major islands, but all prospective sites of economic development. The 1,200-kilometer Luzon Spine Expressway Networks program will effectively connect Ilocos to Bicol from 20 hours to just 9 hours of travel. Under the Mega Bridge program, 12 bridges totaling 90 kilometers will be constructed, connecting islands and areas separated by waters. The program notably includes the Bataan-Cavite Interlink Bridge and the Panay-Guimaras-Negros Island bridges, each spanning 32 kilometers, and also the Samal Island Davao City Connector Bridge. We initiated several railway projects with a total length of more than 1,000 kilometers. Notably, the southern leg of the North-South commuter railway system is now in full swing. In a few years, travel from Pampanga to Laguna will be reduced from 4 hours to just 2.
Sa laban kontra kahirapan, paano mananaig ang mamamayan? Dayan Quirerpo, katuwang ang National Anti-Poverty Commission. Samahan ninyo ako tuwing Sabado at magkaisa tayo. Umaksyon laban sa kahirapan. Aksyon laban sa kahirapan. One nation, one flag, one people. Unity in eradicating poverty. Dito sa inyong People's Television.
Limampung taon ng tapat na pagseserbisyo, kailanman, kahit saan, para sa bayan. Reaching the Filipino from every corner of the country via terrestrial TV. In Luzon, PTV 8 Cordillera, PTV4 Manila, PTV4 Palawan, and PTV4 Naga. In Visayas, PTV 11 Cebu, PTV 2 Guimaras, PTV 10 Dumaguete, PTV 10 Calbayog, and PTV 8 Tacloban. And in Mindanao, PTV 11 Pagadian, PTV 11 Sibugay, PTV 11 Davao, PTV 8 Agusan del Sur, PTV 8 Cotabato, PTV 7 Zamboanga, and PTV 48 Davao del Norte. And through the power of 6 digital transmitting stations, PTV 14 Manila, PTV 42 Cordillera, PTV 46 Naga, PTV 42 Cebu, PTV 23 Guimaras, and PTV 45 Davao. Connecting with the rest of the world in the era of digital technology. Through the power of television and our extensive online network, we continue crossing borders to serve the timeless news and information, bridging public service through innovative programs, fostering pride in the Filipino, and inspiring the people to be active partners in nation building. Noon hanggang ngayon, kasama mong naglilingkod. PTV, ang pambansang TV.
Considering its fundamental importance, water security deserves a special focus. So given that urgency, we have created the Water Resources Management Office to specifically handle the delicate job involving this most precious resource. Nakikipag-ugnayan tayo sa Kongreso upang maipasa ang batas para sa pagbuo ng isang Department of Water Resource Management. This year, we have allocated 14.6 billion pesos for water supply projects, which will benefit communities all over the country.
Health Watch, alertong pangkalusugan. Mag-ingat sa water at foodborne diseases. Ito'y mga sakit na dulot ng mga bakterya, virus at parasite na karaniwang namumugad sa kontaminadong tubig at pagkain, gaya ng cholera, typhoid fever, hepatitis A, rotavirus, paralytic shellfish poisoning, at dysenteria. Ang mga sakit na ito ay nagdudulot ng pagdurumi, pagduduwal, pagsusuka, lagnat, kawalan ng ganang kumain, at pananakit ng tiyan na maaaring humantong sa dehydration. Kapag nakaranas ng mga sintomas, uminom agad ng oral rehydration solution bilang paunang lunas. Kung patuloy ang mga sintomas, kumonsulta agad sa doktor o pinakamalapit na health center. Para maiwasan, maging maingat sa paghahanda at pagkonsumo ng mga pagkain at inumin at panatilihing malinis ang katawan at kapaligiran. Sa panahon ng sakit, dapat laging listo. Tatlong bagong programang sumasalamin sa kwento ng Pilipino. Mapapanood na sa inyong People's Television.
Mr. President, what do you do every day? Maraming bagay naman talaga na ginagawa ng isang Pangulo na hindi alam ng publiko. Kaya dito ko na lang sasagutin sa vlog yung katanungan na yan.
The Philippine President, Ferdinand Marcos Jr., like you've never seen him before, on BBM Vlog.
Madami na ako nakitang picture ng beach at iba pang lugar sa Pilipinas. Pero ngayon ko lang talaga masasabi. Ang ganda pala talaga ng Pinas, no?
Tunghayan ang mga nakakaantig na istorya ng buhay ng mga ordinaryong Pilipino sa On the Ground.
Ang oras ng pagpapatrol ko sa dagat, alas 8 ng gabi.
10 taong gulang pa lamang ako nang matuto akong magpayot.
Ako pala si Alvin Cristobal. Isa po akong mandarames.
At sumabay sa pagbuo ng mga bagong pangarap, katuwang ang mga programa ng pamahalaan para sa isang bagong Pilipinas.
tinupad niyo po yung pangarap namin. Na ang pangarap po namin ay pangarap niyo rin po pala para sa aming mga mahihirap.
BBM Vlog, On the Ground, Bagong Pilipinas, mapapanood na dito lang sa PTV, ang pambansang TV. Sa mabilis na takbo ng panahon, mahalaga sa amin ang maihatid sa inyo ang pinakabago at makabuluhang impormasyon.
Mula rito sa Malacanang,
kinilala ni Pangulong Ferdinand
inihayag ni Remulla ngayong araw
150 billion pesos worth of invested pledges.
Kasama ang mga tapat nating tagapaghatid balita. Kahit saan, kahit kailan, kasama nyo ang PTV para sa bayan. Disaster Watch. Alamin ang Modified Tropical Cyclone Wind Signal System para sa mga paparating na bagyo. Signal number 1. Isa itong tropical depression na nagtataglay ng bahagyang lakas ng hangin at tatama sa loob ng 1.5 araw. Posible itong makadulot ng pinsala. Walang pasok ang mga bata sa preschool. Signal number 2. Ito ay tinatawag na tropical storm na may dalang katamtamang lakas ng hangin at posibleng tumama sa loob ng 24 oras. Pinapayuhan ng lahat na isecure ang kanilang mga bahay at kagamitan at wag na munang maglakbay. Wala ring pasok ang mga mag-aaral mula sa preschool hanggang high school. Signal number 3. Ito ay severe tropical storm na posibleng tumama sa loob ng 18 oras. Pinapayuhan ang mga residente na lumikas sa mabababang lugar, baybayin at tabing ilog at maghanda sa pagkawala ng kuryente at komunikasyon. Walang pasok sa lahat ng antas ng edukasyon. Signal number 4. Ito ay isang ganap na typhoon na maaaring tumama sa loob ng 12 oras at nagtataglay ng napakalakas na hangin. Dapat manatili muna sa bahay at lumikas mula sa mga mapanganib na lugar. Signal number 5. Ito ay isang super typhoon na nagtataglay ng napakalakas na hangin at posibleng magdulot ng malawakang pinsala. Manatili sa loob ng matibay na gusali at mag-monitor sa mga weather update para sa inyong kaligtasan. Sa panahon ng bagyo, dapat laging listo.
For the unlimited na talakayang pambayan, dito natin yan pag-uusapan. Ang inspiring stories nyo, i-flex namin yan.
Dahil dito sa Schoolmates, deserve nyong mapakinggan.
Patuloy na maglilingkod sa bayan at kabataan. Schoolmates, tuwing Huwebes ng gabi sa PTV. Health Watch, mga paalalang pangkalusugan laban sa leptospirosis. Ang leptospirosis ay sakit na dulot ng Leptospira bacteria mula sa ihi ng infected na mga hayop. Naipapasa ito sa pamamagitan ng pagtalsik ng kontaminadong tubig sa mata, kain at inumin, at pagluso sa maruwing tubig habang may bukas na sugat.
Para sa bayan. Ang susunod na programa ay rated PG. Ito ay nangangailangan ng patnubay at gabay ng magulang para sa mga batang manonood.
Magandang araw Pilipinas, sa Huwebes ngayon, ikatlong araw sa buwan po ng Agosto. Malagang issue po sa bayan ang ating pag-usapan. Kasama ang mga kinatawan ng mga piling ahensya ng pamahalaan, kaya tutok lang. Ako po inyong lingkod, Aljo Bendijo, at ito public briefing, #Laging Handa PH. Matapos po ang Higit isang taon bumisita sa Malacanang si dating Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Ayon kay Presidential Communications Office Secretary Cheloy Garafil, nakipagpulong ang dating Pangulo kay President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. Tungkol yan sa naging biyahe nito sa China kung saan nakapulong nito si Chinese President Xi Jinping. Bukod dyan, ilang usapin din ang natalakay ng dalawa. Nagbigay umano ng mga advice si Pangulong Duterte kay Pangulong Marcos Jr. Una dito, sinabi ni Pangulong Marcos Jr. sa isang ambush interview na batid niya Pangulong Duterte sa China at umaasa siyang napag-usapan doon ang issue hinggil sa West Philippine Sea. Samantala, Department of Energy inimok na ang mga benepisyaryo ng 4Ps na gamitin ng Government Electricity Lifeline Program. Yan po ang ating pag-usapan. Kasama po si Luningning G. Baltazar, Director ng Electric Power Industry Management Bureau ng Department of Energy. Director, magandang araw.
Good morning po. Sir Anjo, tama po ba, Sir Anjo?
Yes, this is Aljo Bendio, Director. Para po sa kalaban ng ating mga kababayan nakikinig at nanonood po ngayon, lalo na ang mga miyembro ng 4Ps, ano ba itong Electricity Lifeline Program?